Hey everybody, I'm Kristen Chamness with Aqua Hair Extensions. I'm an ambassador for them, and when I was first introduced to Aqua, I have been doing tape-in extensions for about 6 years, and I was like, I did them and I liked them, but I loved extensions, but I was never excited about the product that I was able to provide my clients. So when I came across Aqua, that changed because the quality is so great that I wanted to tell everybody about Aqua, and I wanted everybody to experience Aqua extensions. So a little bit about Aqua. Aqua it's a family-owned company, and they were founded in 2008. They are dedicated to the professional. So if your clients Google Aqua Hair, they will be able to find them on Google, but they will not be able to purchase the hair itself. They will have to come to you as a professional. The hair that Aqua uses, it's 100% Remy human hair, and is gathered from India. So it's gathered in a ponytail. So the ponytail is ensured. It helps to ensure that the hair remains Remy hair, which means that the cuticle is still intact, and the cuticle runs the same way down in that ponytail. So Aqua Hair is it's special for the reason of how it is processed. It's processed in the ponytail, so it remains 100% Remy hair, and it goes through a 12-hour nutrient soak. So that nutrient soak helps to keep that hair healthy, and it helps to keep that cuticle still intact. Now, there's also that nutrient-rich bath helps prepare that hair for the 21-day lifting process. Now, think about your clients that come into your salon. If you had a brunette, like a dark brunette client, and she wanted to be a platinum blonde, would you do that in one day? Probably not, because their hair is gonna show the damage. That's the same way that Aqua feels about hair. They know that the slower the process, the better the hair. So they're gonna do, like, the 21-day lifting process is equivalent to you doing your brunette client to platinum in multiple sessions rather than just immediate results. So the hair is still healthy, and it's shiny, and it feels good, and it's not tangly. So with Aqua Hair, there are 5 systems. Now these 5 systems, there are the tape-ins, the cylinder, the fusion, hand-tied weft, and clip-ins. So within these 5 systems, there are 38 colors. Now these colors range from natural to duotone. You have your balayage, you have ombre, and you have crazy fun colors. So with 38 colors, there's plenty to choose from, and you can find something for all your clients. There are 3 lengths with Aqua Hair. There is a 14-inch, an 18-inch, and a 22-inch. So definitely options there. The best thing about doing tape-ins is that you can do a full head in 1 hour. So if you were doing like fusion or cylinder extensions before, that takes hours. Now with tape-ins, you're gonna do a full head in 1 hour. That cuts down on your time, and that cuts down on the time that one client is in your chair. So you can do multiple extension clients in one day. So the tape that Aqua uses for their tape-in extensions is a medical grade adhesive. There are 2 types. There are the regular tapes that are meant for retaping, and then there are the single-sided tapes. Both types of tape are manufactured in the USA, and the medical grade adhesive just ensures a really strong hold. And that it's meant for to be on a person's body. But so in a pack of tape-in extensions, you get 10 pieces. Now, if you get 10 pieces, you get 5 extensions, because these extensions are paneled together. So they look like that when they are put in the hair, like this right here. So one paneled extension looks like this. The bond for the extensions is 1.5 inches wide, and it's very thin and flexible so that it's comfortable for your clients. This hair can be used 3 times plus the initial application. So you can retape this hair with pre-cut tabs 3 times. There's no prepping the hair to get it ready to be retaped. You literally take the hair out, place the pre-cut tapes over the tape that was already on there, and you can reapply. The adjustment time for taping extensions is 6 to 8 weeks. And so then you're guaranteed an extension client every 6 to 8 weeks because they're gonna get that adjustment. Now, with taping extensions, a consultation is very important. When your client comes in and she tells you that she's like really interested in extensions, then you're gonna wanna get your consultation form out, and you can make your own and put your own spin on it. But there's important things that you need to include in the consultation. And you wanna make sure that you find out about their lifestyle. Make sure that extensions are a good fit for them. Make sure that they're gonna be happy with that result of having extensions. Find out about allergies. Now the tape, it does have latex in it. It's a latex-based tape. So if they're allergic to latex, you may want to do a patch test to make sure that they're not going to be allergic to that tape. You're going to ask about like sensitivities, scalp issues, and make sure that, say they have like some patches or like some places where they may have like more sensitivity than others, then you're going to want to keep those extensions off those places, or maybe not do extensions on that client. When you're going over your consultation, you're going to want to talk about them about what they want for their results. Extensions are great because you can do a full head, or you could just add pieces, or you could add some highlights or lowlights, whatever you want to do. That's your option. That's your client's option. But you want to make sure that you know what your client is expecting. So you want to go over what length they want and the quantity of hair that they're going to need. You're going to want to make sure that you know the quantity. Your client doesn't have to know how many packs of hair that they're getting, but you need to know that. So when you color match your client, you'll take your color ring and you will match it to the ends of their hair. So you take your client and you're going to want to make sure that you match it to the ends of their hair. Now, the great thing about doing tape ends is you're not stuck with just like, and like having like smaller packs. You're not stuck with just having to have one extension color. You can do multiple colors. You can really customize these extensions for each client that you have. Now, with the application process. So when you're doing extensions, you want to make sure that your partings are very clean and that they are straight. Now with aqua hair, that there are no angled partings, only straight partings. If you do an angled parting, that can create wig splats, and that can create tension, which could create uncomfortableness that can create your client some uncomfort. So your first row of extensions will start at the nape, and you'll start from the bottom and work your way up. That's going to be 2 inches away from their hairline at the bottom, or 2 fingers, so do like 2 fingers. make sure that your parting is straight again. So, when deciding your placement for your extensions, you want to do the toe comb test to decide how far from the edge or from that hairline on the side that you can be. So you don't want your toe comb to show. So right there is good. You can't see your toe comb and it's far enough to the side. So I would start my first extension on this row, about right there. So your extensions need to be 1/4 of an inch from the scalp and 1/4 of an inch from each other this way. So when starting your first row of extensions, if you start on this row and you start on this side, you're gonna work this way, keeping them 1/4 of an inch from each other until you can't fit one over here. And then your next row will start a finger's width above that row. And on this side, as close with your toe comb test, you'll determine how close you can be. And so then they are brick laid. So for this class, we're gonna do the row above the ear. So I'm gonna do my partings. Keep the parting really straight. And it's gonna go from side to side. Okay, so I like to utilize my single-sided tapes in the front because usually most people are going to be a little thinner in the front, and that just is, it's more natural if you use those one-sided tapes right there. So we're going to do our toe comb test to determine how far away, usually like 2 fingers, so we'll try that. To begin with, that'll be perfect. So we're gonna take an extension, peel off the back, 1/4 of an inch from the scalp, press so it picks up some hair underneath it, lift it up. It should lift up a little bit of hair. Flip that up. Take your one-sided tape. And this tape, you want to be really careful not to touch it too much. You have to touch it a little bit. Like I like to use my fingernail just on the edge and like pull it up. But you don't really leave like any finger spots on the tape. So you want to match up rounded edge to rounded edge and corner to corner. Make sure that's even. I like to press it first and then pull it down. Then use this, which is tape and pliers. And they come in a little package and they're just little, like they're smooth on the inside, little pliers. So I like to press, lift that extension, press on one side, then move to the other side and press. So we have this extension on this side and your client's gonna want to be even on both sides. So I like to do this side, then this side. So match it up. and do your tail comb test to make sure that works. That will work. And I like to do it by feel too, just because I feel like I can tell a little bit more. Make sure, and you can use your mirror to tell, but peel the tape. Apply the extension, press, flip it up. Take your single-sided tape, match them up, rounded side to rounded side and straight edge to straight edge, and press. Then take your pliers again, clamp, and clamp. So now we're gonna kind of get our game plan together now that we have those two sides done. So we're gonna do, say, I'm gonna do 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, and 1/4 of an inch. So you can have more of a gap than that, just so that you can create your fullness, but they can only be 1/4 of an inch close to each other. You don't want them to rub, because that will just be uncomfortable for your client. You want a little bit of a cushion in between them. Press them together, flip it down, and then use your pliers to make sure there's no air bubbles. If there's air bubbles in your application, then that's just gonna give more room for error. That's gonna allow water to get in the extension, and that can cause it to slip. Or if they accidentally get like a little conditioner like on the bonds, that can, if there's air bubbles, it'll make it easier for the extensions to slip and get that conditioner in there. Now these extensions can be reused 3 times, so you actually get 4 applications with these extensions. So you have your initial time that you apply them, and then your client can reuse the hair 3 times after that. And usually by then, if they're going 6 to 8 weeks in between application processes, between them like styling their hair and everything, they're gonna want new hair, because especially if they heat style a lot. Now, before you do your application of tape-in extensions or any extensions, you're going to want to prep the hair with the Prep shampoo from Aqua. Now, this shampoo is a pH of 7, which is the same pH as hair. So that's going to That's going to keep you from, that's going to remove the oils because it is a clarifying shampoo, but it's not in a really strong shampoo to where it's going to cause their hair to get tangly. It's just going to help to remove any excess oils and products. You'll wash their hair 3 times with that shampoo and then blow dry them like normal, no products, and then you'll start your application process. With these, some extension companies, they suggest to use like a flat iron to help like create that bond. Not with Aqua. You don't want to use a flat iron or any kind of heat on the bond of the extensions. That will just cause it to melt. Now we're going to place the bottom piece on there, press it, flip it down, and use our extension pliers again. Now the extension pliers helps create that strong bond, just like how with some companies you would use a flat iron or something to create that strong bond. We're going to use these. You never want to melt like tape or glue or anything like that into your client's hair. And then we're just gonna do one more right in that center part. Now, if your client has any like cowlicks or like maybe like a swirl or like a place where their hair just like opens, like that big part in the back, you can avoid those areas with tape-in extensions, and that way you don't have to worry about the hair opening up and showing the extension. The good thing about tape-ins is, say you get it a little off when you first adjust it, if you haven't really like pressed that bond in yet, like really smooth them out, you have a little bit of play. You have a little bit of leeway to readjust. And then secure that bond with your pliers. And there we go. There's our full row of tape-in hair extensions. And because we're doing the brick-lay pattern, you're not gonna see any gaps. That's how you prevent having any gaps. Now I like to see like where I'm gonna need like more hair out. By pulling the hair down and combing it, and then you can look for where you may need another extension at, and look for any gaps that you may have. Now, when your client comes in to have their extensions removed, you're going to want to put them in the same way that you've taken them out, or take them out the same way you put them in, especially if you have cut them or trim them or had to do any blending at all. So I normally start from like at the bottom row of my client's extensions and work my way up, and then place the extensions on a tray in the order that I take them out. That way I know which ones go where, and then I can put them back in the same way. With Aqua hair extensions, there are two types of remover. There's the express remover. And there's the express remover, which is a it's like just your basic tape-in extension remover. It's an alcohol-based remover, so that means it dries very quickly, so it will dry on your extensions, so there's no need to wash them after using this remover. And you can just spray it on the top of the extensions, let it sit for 30 to 60 seconds. Use your tail comb, stick it in the top, and you want to peel the tape-in extension off from the top to the bottom, and it will just come right out like that. Very easy. They are very easy to remove with the express remover. Now, Aqua has another type of remover, which is a oil-based remover, and it's called the Glide remover. Because it is an oil-based remover, if you use that on the extension to get it out, you're going to have to use the prep shampoo on the extension to remove the oil, and then blow dry the extension and then retape. So use the express remover for extensions, and then the Glide remover if there's any excess tape or stickiness in the hair after removing them. And the express remover removes the tape really easily, so you shouldn't have any like difficulty getting the extensions out with just that. And I never really have any residue left when using this tape or using that remover. I don't really have any issues with that. So now that you remove the extension, you'll wash your client's hair with the prep shampoo, and then just blow dry them like normal, and you can reapply your extensions. Now, when you retape your extensions, if it's if you've taken them out, then you are gonna want to retape your extensions. Either say your client gets color while their color is processing, or you can get maybe your assistant or someone to help you retape. It's pretty quick because the tape is already pre-cut, and so it's quick to get them retaped. You don't have to remove any prior tape or anything like that. Just tape right over what you already have. So when you're talking to your client about maintenance, we have these maintenance cards that are really good to like give out to your clients. Now, these go over everything they need to know. So if you forget something, or if your client has a question, if you give them this, then they're going to have something to refer back to. And as much as we want them to call us and ask us, they also have this to look at. Now Aqua has a shampoo and conditioner, which is sulfate-free, protein-free, and paraben-free, which the protein-free is a huge thing for these extensions because you don't want to over-protonize the hair. If you over-protonize it, it will become tangly, and you'll have to just repurchase new hair you won't be able to get that quality back. There is a leave-in conditioner, and the leave-in conditioner is great because it's a heat protectant and a UV protectant, so it can be used to protect their hair if they're going to be outside or if they're going to go swimming. They can just spray it right in and don't have to worry about that. The bonds, you want to keep the conditioners, the leave-in conditioner, and there's also a hair mask that can be used like once a week. Keep those off the bonds because it could cause them to slip. There's a boar bristle extension brush, which is great. You want to make sure that your client knows to anchor their hair and brush it out that way. No, don't want to like just scrape it through at the roots. Now, when washing your hair and having extension, and your clients have extensions, you want them to wash it no more than 3 times a week. And they may feel like that's too much or that's not enough, but that's perfect for extensions. So I've even just like washed kind of like the top of my hair when I've had extensions, just so I didn't have to wash the whole thing. And that's also going to cut down on their heat styling. When heat styling, you want your clients to keep any heat, including blow dryers, or like keep them on like low when you're blow drying close to the bonds, or your flat irons or curling irons. Keep those tools off the bonds because they will cause them to slip and could cause damage to your client's hair too. And then, like I said, if they're doing any kind of activities, then outside or swimming, then they can use the leave-in conditioner as a protectant against the chlorine or against the sun. So there is a promo sheet, and the promo sheet is all about our deals for tape-in hair extensions. It's an intro kit. So this will have everything that you need to have to start doing tape-in hair extensions. You get a boar bristle brush, a prep shampoo, a shampoo conditioner, a leave-in conditioner, or not the leave-in conditioner, you get the express remover and the glide remover, the single-side tapes and the regular tapes, a color ring, and an 18-inch pack of extensions in your choice of color. And you get all of that for $205, so that's a great deal that we offer to our stylists. And you can order that through your sales rep along with any of the products that you would like to order separately. Like the pliers, these are great to have, so if you wanted to add those on, you could get those separately, just not with the intro kit. But I just want to take this time to thank everybody for being here, and I'm so excited for y'all to welcome me into your beautiful salon, and I hope you're as excited about aqua hair as I am. Thanks, bye.